I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked any of my past videos, please subscribe to my channel, like and comment on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to visit our Instagram, our Facebook, our blog. We add greater powerful information there on a regular basis, so make sure you check that out. Today I want to talk about, we talk about the dream book, the dream board, and how you can cut up pictures of things that you want and put them on this dream board and on this dream book. The purpose for this is for you to be in remembrance of your dreams, goals, and desires, so you can broadcast from your brain out into the universe what you want on a consistent basis. Consistency is the key. Earl Nightingale said, you become what you think about most of the time, right? And it's the consistency. How often you're sending out the transmission out into the universe, and also how powerful. But this dream book and dream board are great tools for you to do that. So where are good places to put pictures of your dreams? Really, ideally, in that dream book, that dream board, the dream book, you take it with you everywhere you go, to work, to, in your car, because you might have 5 minutes free of your time. Plans change all the time, so you may have 5 minutes. Look at your dream book and get inspired. The dream board, it's in your house. You see it when you wake up, you see it when you leave, you see it when you come back home. But really, you can put them anywhere and everywhere you can see it. You can put them on your car's dash. You can put them on your roof, right? On your ceiling, excuse me. When you're looking up, there's people who actually put pictures on their ceilings in their bedroom. So when they're sleeping or they're laying down ready to go to bed or whatever, they look up and look, or the first thing they see when they wake up is their dream, right? Is the actual picture. So that gives you a great advantage. But you can put them anywhere, in your wallet, in your desk, at work, wherever, somewhere where you can look at it at an ongoing basis. You should have your chief fame on a card that you carry with you at all times and look at as much as you can. You can put them, like I said, in your wallet. Ideally, your chief fame, you must have a chief fame. If you don't, get one. Go back to my past videos and see the importance of the chief fame. What is a chief fame? I'm not going to keep going over it. But the chief fame, as you know, it's very important. It's your chief fame. It's what you're going after. There's a difference between the chief fame and the next logical step. Your chief fame, for example, may be, hey, I won $1 million. I want to be making $1 million a year, or $100,000 a year, wherever your belief level is, right? But that doesn't mean that that's your next logical step. The next logical step could be, hey, maybe I need to get an extra job so I could gather up some funds so I could start saving money or building some capital to build my business. Whatever it is, right? What's the next logical step? But the chief aim is different. The chief aim is what's the ultimate goal. And then when you achieve that, you get another one, then another one. That's how it works. A great thing that you can do, and you should do this, is write down in a little card, a little piece of paper, write down your chief aim and put it in your wallet. You pick up your wallet several times a day, probably. You look inside it. You need to get, one of your credit cards out, debit cards, cash, your ID, for whatever reason. Every time you open up your wallet, bam, it's there. The chief fame is there. Brings you in remembrance. In the in the Jewish tradition, if you ever go to a Jewish person's home, you see that right at the entrance of almost every bedroom and right at the entrance of the main door, there's always a scroll. There's a scroll at the main entrance when you enter their home, and there's a scroll like in every single door. The bedroom, the restroom, the kitchen, there's a scroll, at every door. And the reason for that is to keep you in remembrance, that God is there, keep you in remembrance of your faith, keep in remembrance of the goodness of God. That is the purpose. They call this a mezuzah. So what I'm talking about, like I said, is nothing new. It has been going on throughout history. It's just that with time, information gets more simplified and more modified. So this is why it's being brought up in this way. So even in the Jewish tradition, they do that. They call it a mezuzah. It's to keep you in remembrance, and that is a key principle. It's a universal principle. So the same thing with your dream. If you could put it at the beginning of every door is great. Although I personally wouldn't like to have pictures all over my house. Ideally, in my bedroom, in my bathroom, or in my dream book, in my dream board. But the chief fame, have a little card, put it on your wallet. Very key and very beneficial. The two best parts of the day for you to count your blessings, be thankful, show appreciation and gratefulness for everything in your life, are first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. The best times for you to count your blessings and be thankful and grateful and show appreciation to the Most High is first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. First thing in the morning is because, remember when I talked about how the first 20 minutes upon you being awake, you're in what's called an alpha state, which means that both of your brain hemisphere are synchronized. In other words, your brain is like more open than at any other time the first 20 minutes upon awakening. So whatever information you absorb within those 20 minutes really gets ingrained in you. We've all had this. Maybe you're waking up, you're getting ready to go to work, and you hear a tune, you hear a song, or you see something on TV, and then as you're going throughout your day, that keeps coming up in your mind. Like you keep remembering that little tune, that little phrase at the TV. That's because of the alpha state that you're in. So imagine if you can count your blessings, be thankful, and show appreciation and gratefulness for everything in your life. Upon awakening, you'll keep remembering that, and it gets ingrained in you. Thus, you're vibrating that, and you'll get more of that. And then right before you go to bed, there's many reasons why you should do it right before you go to bed. There's a great saying, you should never go to bed angry. When you're going to bed, you're in a resting mode. And basically, we've all had this. You watch a movie, let's say you watch a scary movie. Most likely, there's a good chance you might have nightmares. We've all had that, right? The same thing with positive. You get some positive information in you. Most likely you're at an unconscious level, resting. And thus, whatever you absorb before going to sleep is like sort of vibrating. That's why when we have a challenge, let's say we've all had this too, we have a major challenge and maybe you're having trouble sleeping. It's crazy how we have that challenge and maybe we're not, fully aware of our potential and abilities, so we may be a little bit more worrisome. It seems like when you're going to sleep, you're still worried. It seems like the worriness didn't go away. The same thing. When you were kids, even this is a principle even known when we were kids. Remember, our parents would tell us, hey, pray before you go to bed. My parents would tell me that, my mother, pray before you go to bed, count your blessings. Ask God what you're thankful. Well, thank you, God, for my mom and dad. Thank you, God, for the dinner. It's the same principle. So, great concept. When somebody does something bad, there is a game you can play to make you feel better about the situation. What is it called? The understanding game. When somebody does something bad to you, it's very easy for you to get angry at that person or for you to react in a negative way. Remember, you become what you think about most of the time. And whatever you're feeling and thinking, you're vibrating that into the universe. does that comes back to you. And then when somebody does something bad, there's a good chance you're really reacting in a negative, angry way, so the vibration is stronger. So you're sending out to the universe that negativity, it will come back to you much faster and much stronger. But there's a way to counteract this, and it's a habit. You're not gonna probably get it the first time. You're not gonna get it the second time, maybe not even the third time. But it's something that, you know, there's a saying that says, it's 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. You will always get better at this, and it's an understanding game. The understanding game works like this. Let's say you're driving down the road, someone cuts you off. Most people react negative to that. They get angry, irritated for losing half a second. Like, you just lost half a second. What is that going to do to you? Nothing. You're not losing anything, but people react in a negative way. Instead, if you have a habit of that, get in the habit of playing the understanding game. Well, why did this guy or woman cut me off? Hey, maybe, you know, they're rushing, yeah, you know, because they have an emergency. Hey, maybe they won the lottery and they're excited. You know, maybe someone is sick, right? Their kid is sick or something. They're trying to rush home. You know, maybe, you know, they were warned many times at work about being late, and, you know, they're on the verge of getting fired, and they have 3 kids. I don't know, single mother, whatever, single parent. Who knows? Play the understanding game. Why is this person, you know, reacting, you know, in this negative way to me? Hey, maybe they are filing a divorce. They're in the verge of a divorce. Hey, maybe their kids despise them, you know. Maybe they feel so guilty of their past mistakes and it just came up and they're just negative that day. I mean, play the understanding game. In every situation where somebody could react negative to you, if we really would know the truth of why this person is acting negative, believe me, we would understand it. Nobody acts negative just to act negative. There's a root cause. And if we would really know the root cause, trust me, you would be like, I understand it. We don't know the root cause, but know that there is a reason. So playing the understanding game can really benefit you in life and really counteract the negative. So play the understanding game. Changing words can dramatically shift emotions. Changing the word like to love, or that makes me angry to that makes me a little peeved, can dramatically shift the way you feel. It can really do this. Changing your words. Remember, even in biblical scripture, it talks about how power is in the tongue, life and death is in the tongue. The tongue is a creative force. It is. I will get to this in a much deeper form in the future of why this is so. And there's really a biological, scientific reason. And it's crazy how this has been talked about throughout history, even before we knew all of this, right? I will get to that in the future. But for now, understand that there's power in the tongue. So you have to watch your words. But sometimes you may have had a challenge happen to you. Something crappy really happened in your life. Remember, we will vibrate, we're sending out into the universe. Thus, we will get that back. We have to counteract this. And a good way to counteract this is by changing your words. Changing the words, changing the meaning of certain words. For example, I like you. I like you gives a certain feeling. But when you say I love you, you see how it changes? And if, let's say, something crappy really happened and you're feeling angry, and you may be on the verge of saying, I'm really angry, right? I'm really angry at this. Think about it. Feel the energy of angry. I'm angry. You feel the energy. Change it to, you know what? That makes me a little peeved. You see how the energy changed? You're not vibrating the same. It changed. It dramatically reduced, and it made you feel different. And it's like popping a balloon. When you have a major negative emotion, change it to something lower that has less negative energy. That makes me angry too. That makes me a little peeved. I'm pissed off too. You know, I'm a little uncomfortable. You see how it changes? And that is the whole key. You don't have to go from 0 to 100. It's impossible. Most people do that. That's why they fail. But hey, if you go 0 to 1, that's better. And 1 to 2, 3 to 4, you'll get there eventually. With more practice. Remember, 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. So it'll be like 0 to 50. It's very easy for you to get there. Your leaps are higher. And it's all practice, guys. Most of the time, it's best to choose words that increase positive emotion and choose words that decrease negative feelings, just like we talked about. Saying a word has energy because the sound has energy attached to it. What is even more important than the word and the sound of the word is the intention behind it. See, that's really the juice of words when we speak. It's the intention behind it. The word has energy because there's energy attached to it. There was energy attached to it when it was created. When it was created, the energy form, right? But what is even more important is the intention behind it, right? I talk about how you must feel empowered. And really, I really dislike the word I'm sorry. I really disliked it for a long time. Because I'm sorry for a long time made me feel disempowered. Like, what are you sorry for? Like, you know, remember, in life you have to care, but not that much. Why are you saying I'm sorry? But when I started getting into this information more and more, and I started understanding it more and more, and I started changing my patterns, my negative patterns to more positive, I noticed that I would say the word I'm sorry, but the energy behind it, the intention, wasn't the same. When I would say I'm sorry, maybe to another person would feel like, you know, like really disempowered, right? Like I'm really disempowered. There's nothing to be sorry about. But to me, it's like I'm sorry, like, you know, it's just like I apologize, right? It's like, you know, the correct word should be, look, I apologize. Sorry is more like, I'm sorry, like forgive me. But to me, when I say sorry now, it's like I'm sorry. It has the same energy as, look, I apologize. Like, you know, you can forgive me or not, but, you know, I apologize, my mistake, but, you know. But you see, it's the intention behind it. So understand that the intention is very powerful when you say words. That is why there's power in the tongue. Because of this, there's intention behind those words. And, you know, don't put too much attention to the word, but put attention to the intention of the word, right? That is what's important. What are 2 very powerful words that you should use and can use very often? Please and thank you. Please and thank you is rarely used. People really don't use it at all. But this is very powerful. It will change your life. See, it's the small things. This is why these concepts are rarely talked about, because they're in front of our face. We're just not aware of them. And they're so simple that we don't put too much attention to it, but it's the simpleness that is the magic. Using please and thank you changes the energy from you and from the person. The person feels different about you when you say please and thank you. It's crazy how I could go to another person's home and we're sitting at the dinner table, and you know they say pass me the mashed potatoes, for example, and they don't say please and they don't say thank you. It's crazy. we need to start teaching our kids from a very small age to use please and thank you. Like I said, it changes your energy, which is the most important, to a positive one, but it also changes the perspective of the person, of the other person, and it makes you more a likable person. They feel the energy, the positive energy from you. And this is how great relationships are built. Please and thank you. And plus the energy behind it, please and thank you, is like energy of thankfulness, of gratefulness. Right? Please and thank you. So use please and thank you at all times. Please and thank you. I want to thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to all my other social medias. There'll be much great information. Please subscribe to this channel if you like this video. I'll see you guys next time.